Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Manchester City 6, Manchester United 3. What an incredible Manchester derby we saw yesterday. It will be when this video goes out. City in the first half totally dominated. They hit Manchester United in the counter and they just controlled the game brilliantly. City were unbelievable, and the player ratings today do reflect that City performance. Yes, City did drop off towards the end. City got a bit sloppy. City sort of knew that the game was dead and buried and it was over, and we took our foot off the gas absolutely massively, and that allowed United back into the game. But when I say back into the game, they got a few goals back, but it wasn't back into the game, was it really? City in full control. City always struggling to win after those first 45 minutes, perhaps after the first 20 minutes, to be honest with you. City were that good in that first half, really. And the player, like I said, their player ratings do reflect that. We saw before the game, rumours came out that Rodri has picked up a calf injury. He would miss the Manchester derby, which was really worrying. That was really worrying when I heard that news. And that also Ruben Diaz was given a rest, and I just couldn't understand it. And I was very confused. And you can see the player ratings there. You might be confused by one of the crowns there. I'll explain that right now. Manuel Akanji, I have given man of the match again, but it could be between Haaland and Foden. I just give it to someone else a bit different. It could be Grealish as well. To be honest with you, there could be many man of the matches out there. Just for the moment, I left the crown on Akanji because I wanted to give a special mention to him, really, because we know how good the others were, but Akanji was incredible. So Akanji and Ake started at the centre-back roles. No Diaz in there. Now that was, I think, very clever from Pep Guardiola. With no Rodri in that midfield, controlling those counter-attacks that we know Manchester United were going to play on. The likes of Anthony, Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, all very sort of teams or players that play in a team in transition work best on counter-attacking, especially Anthony, especially Marcus Rashford with his pacing behind. So United set up that way. And as soon as we said no Rodri before the game, I thought City are in trouble here. No one is going to control that midfield. We're going to get done in the transitions. But Pep Guardiola cleverly took out Ruben Diaz and took out that sort of defensive action that he does have, Diaz, but lack of pace, and put Ake alongside Akanji, the two quickest centre-backs in the Man City squad, combined with Kyle Walker as well. That created a real solid and very, very quick in the defence for Manchester City. Cancelo's pretty quick as well. So getting back, City were in a really good position. If United were trying to, running behind us, we had those four players who were quick enough to control United, and that worked. And that gave Gundogan a little bit more freedom, really, and less defensive ability, and less time Gundogan had to think about defending like Rodri would, because he could think about more of the forward play, knowing the likes of Ake, Akanji, Walker were solid behind them. So City set up in that way, a 4-2 or a 4-1. It was really actually Gundogan City in a 4-1-2-3, really, with Haaland, Grealish and Foden across that front line. Foden back on that right-hand side, Grealish on the left-hand side. No Riyad Mahrez, he's on the bench. He's not been in a great bit of form at the moment, has he? And of course, City haven't really got any more options out there at the moment. Calvin Phillips as well being ruled out with that shoulder injury that he's had surgery on. We don't know when he's going to be back. That was his chance today, Calvin Phillips, I do believe. With Rodri out, Phillips could come in today and play that holding role. Because he's out injured as well, he's not there to do the job he should be. So Gundogan stepped in, and Gundogan was fantastic. And the whole City team, really, in the end, were fantastic. United had a few little chances on the counter-attack, and that's why I've given the captaincy to Manuel, or the man of the match to Manuel Akanji. Anything United tried to do, Manuel Akanji nullified. And I haven't given the highest rating, but I just thought he was just so solid. And he's got that air of Vincent Kompany about it. And I've said that before. I said that when he first signed. Manuel Akanji, when I've seen him play for Dortmund, when I've seen him play for Switzerland, he did remind me of Vincent Kompany, just better on the ball. And we saw that today from Manuel Akanji. So these are the player ratings and the review of the game, the match day reaction. United came out really in a way that I think Gary Neville before the game, I saw a clip from Gary Neville saying to Micah Richards on Sky Sports. It was sort of a clip on Gary Neville's TikTok, I believe it was. And he was saying, we've got this. United got us in the bag. The way United set up as well. I thought it was really strange for Erik ten Hag. They spent, 80 million euros on Casemiro, one of what you'd say the highest rated defensive midfielders in the world. Now, I don't think Casemiro was the answer for Manchester United, if there's any United fans listening, because United need a progressive midfielder. They didn't need someone who's going to break up play, because Fred and McTominay tend to do that pretty well themselves, despite being relatively poor players. United needed someone like the Frenkie de Jong they were targeting to turn and take that ball from the midfield into attack. I think in the end, Ten Hag's been forced to play Christian Eriksen in a central midfield role, which did not work well today at all for Manchester United. And the fact that he picked McTominay ahead of Casemiro, that makes it seem like Casemiro was a bit of a panic signing, maybe one that he didn't want, but United said, you know what, we can get a defensive midfielder, we're going to get you Casemiro instead of Frenkie de Jong, because de Jong doesn't want to join. very strange from United. So they set up with the two in midfield, and it just didn't work for United. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't even make it off the bench for them. Anthony Martial came on and got a double. So City set off the game brilliant. I mean, Erling Haaland, we'll go from the top to front, shall we, in the rating. So we've gone with Erling Haaland leading the line for Manchester City, a 10, 2 assists and a hat-trick as well. A hat-trick of hat-tricks at home in the Premier League for Manchester City. This man is unbelievable, and we'll run out of words to describe him. He's only 9 goals off scoring 23 Premier League goals this season, which is what every striker, I think, for the last few years has got, barring Salah, who got that 32-goal record. That shows the quality of Erling Haaland, and he's surely going to beat that 32-goal record if he stays fit. Absolutely unbelievable player. He's unreal. And speaking of unbelievable players, the two men on either side of him as well were both unbelievable. Phil Foden, a 10, a hat-trick for the Manchester-born Phil Foden as well. He was unplayable. United couldn't get anywhere near him. The finishing was fantastic. That near-post finish for his hat-trick was absolutely incredible. Set up by Erling Haaland. Haaland's pass as well for Foden's second goal. City's fourth was fantastic. Just City was so good. And speaking of so good, the man on the left-hand side as well, Jack Grealish, that is probably his best performance in a City shirt. Properly turned up against Manchester United. I mean, within minutes, he got Diogo Dalot on a yellow card. Just really running at Manchester United all game. Fantastic from Diogo Dalot. That made a big difference. Into the midfield, De Bruyne, Gundogan and Bernardo all get 8s. Those three are fantastic. I mean, De Bruyne's assist for Haaland was a thing of beauty. Topping assist in the Premier League with 8. He could get that assist record this season, I do believe, with Erling Haaland in front of him. Gundogan was pushed into a deeper role than what he's used to for Manchester City in recent times. What a player. Just unbelievable as well. Did the role perfectly. And so did Bernardo Silva, who run his socks off as he usually does. I've given a 9 to Pep Guardiola as well as manager. On to the City back line. And then we've gone with Cancelo for it with an 8. He was brilliant, really good in the attack as he always is, and pretty solid defensively. He did well against Antony. At one point, Antony in the first half moved from the the right hand side, against the left back Cancelo to the right back Kyle Walker because he was having no joy against Cancelo. Ake gets an 8. Tell you what, Nathan Ake, of all our centre backs, I'd say Ake or Diaz probably the worst player on the ball, progressive passing. Ake today switches a play, find the passes, driving forward the ball. What a performance from him. Manuel Akanji, I give him a 9 in man of the match because I wanted to shout out Akanji again. Foden and Haaland, unbelievable. Grealish as well. Grealish, no goals or assists, but one of the top players in today's game. Haaland and Foden, fantastic. But Manuel Akanji, despite his side conceding 3 goals, he deserves a special shout out again for how solid he is. 15 million, unbelievable signing so far, and I give him that man of the match just to give him another shout out to say, Manuel Akanji, you are fantastic, you are absolutely incredible, and you might keep the likes of Laporte, Diaz, Stones out the team because you've been that good since signing. Kyle Walker at right back on a 7, he was pretty good, pretty solid for the game they had. Went off injured again. I don't know what the injury is. At first I feared it would be another ankle injury for Kyle Walker, which he tends to be picking up too often at the moment, but I do believe it's a hip injury. From looking at it from where I was in the stands, I do believe it's a hip injury for Kyle Walker. Let's see how long he's going to be out with that. City, I think the fullback situations we're struggling with, and we'll go into the fullback situation a little bit more in the future. Ake ended up playing left back towards the end of the second half. Edison gets a 6. Didn't do anything really. Had more touches than Rashford and I think Antony combined, or I think so anyway, Rashford and Sancho combined, I believe it was. But, I mean, 3 shots on goal and they scored 3. I don't think he made a save, Edison particularly. So I think one from Casemiro perhaps late in the second half. But that was it. City really took the foot off the gas in the second half. United scored an absolute wonder goal through Antony, by the way. That was a fantastic goal from Antony. And the penalty from Anthony Martial at the end of the game was fantastic as well. And United got a bit of a scrappy goal for that second one. City did take the foot off the gas. We slowed down. We ended up playing a 4-4-2. We rested players. Foden came off. Grealish came off. De Bruyne came off. Gundogan came off. Kyle Walker had to come off as well. The substitutions were Riyad Mahrez. We brought on Julian Alvarez. Aymeric Laporte, who's back. Brilliant to see because we know the quality he has on the ball. Cole Palmer came on and Sergio Gomez as well. Sergio Gomez managed to get himself an assist once to Erling Haaland, which is a brilliant cutback. And that is where I think we've got the quality of Gomez. A bit like Angelino, if you remember when he played for City. That ability to cut the ball back. My only problem with Sergio Gomez is I think he's not at Man City level. He's not. And of course, he's a young player. And City knew he wasn't at the level because they wanted to loan to Girona and bring him back in the future. I do think City have got a problem with fullback, especially if Walker's going to be out injured now. I do not trust Gomez for the big games. I really don't. We can tell him on the right back position, fine, but going with the left back, I don't trust him. He moved into midfield in the second half, and he struggled there at times as well. But glimpses of real high quality as well. Real high quality on the ball, Sergio Gomez. He's clearly a very good attacking player. Defensively, he did struggle. Aymeric Laporte, we conceded, 2 goals when he came on. He's obviously rusty since coming back. Alvarez did a lot of running, did a lot of hard work. Did well against Luke Shaw, actually. He was pressing Luke Shaw when he came on for Manchester United. Mahrez, a 5. Saw nothing from Riyad Mahrez, really give the ball away a few times. And I don't know what's going on with Mahrez, but I suppose in the Champions League knockout stages, we'll see the best of Riyad Mahrez, as we usually do. And then finally, Sergio Gomez a 7. I give him a 7, despite, he's a bit shakiness. Fantastic play. But City were electric. And the scoreline flattered Manchester United 6-3. We saw United fans leaving very, very early in the game. They knew they were going to get destroyed. And it was a demolition job from Manchester City in the end. And City were absolutely fantastic. I will not in future give man of the match to a player who's got a lower rating than someone else. Obviously, it was between Haaland and Foden for the man of the match, but I had to give it Manuel Akanji just to give him a bit more of a, listen, guys, this guy is the real deal. Fantastic from him. And I wanted him not to go under the radar. I wanted him to be, shown as what a player he has been. So City doing 6-3. Haaland with a hat-trick. Foden with a hat-trick. If you've got Fantasy Premier League, guys, get Erling Haaland as your captain, because that man is going to keep scoring goals. What a performance from City in the derby. We've got Copenhagen in midweek and Southampton the weekend as well. So no matchday live commentaries for the next few days, because of course I am at home the games for Manchester City. You guys let me know in the comments down below who you thought the man of the match was, what you thought of the game. I always want to see on, listen, read, know your guys' insights, because obviously everyone's opinions are going to be different and you see things very differently. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are getting towards 4,000 subscribers. I do want to hit 5,000 subscribers by the time the World Cup comes around. Maybe it's a big, big ask, but I know you guys can do it. We'll see you guys next time.